Howdy folks, it's Mama B, and I'm just coming up to the end of this row. We're starting our next round of our crochet along, and it's just double crochets. Every third one we're going to increase with an extra double crochet in the same stitch. That will finish off this row. Okay, now to finish it off, you just go to the top stitch of your chain 3 at the beginning of this row. Go right into that third chain, slip stitch, your row's complete. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do yarn over, skip 2 stitches, and go into the third. Pull that yarn through, drop off 2. Then we're going to drop off 2 more and chain 4. Now the first two chains of our chain 4 is going to finish off this side of this stitch. The next 2 chains will be representing the top of this stitch, and then we're going to go yarn over down into the middle of this little combination stitch there where it comes together, and then drop off 2 and drop off 2. This will form kind of an X pattern. You see how that goes? Now I'm going to show you how to do that for the rest of the stitches around. Chain 2 and then go yarn over twice. Okay, that's going to come down and basically build this whole side. So yarn over twice, and you skip 2 stitches, go into the third, pull that yarn up, and drop off 2. Okay, now you've got 3 yarns over your hook, and we're going to do a yarn over, skip 2, and go back in, leaving all those 3 on there. Pull that yarn out and drop off 2 and drop off 2 more. Now you can see we formed the bottom half of this X. Then we're going to do yarn over, drop off 2, and yarn over, drop off 2 more. Now it's kind of a peak, so now we're going to build the rest of our half of the X. Chain 2, yarn over, and go into that center cross of the X. Pull yarn through, drop off 2, and drop off 2. It's like that. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Chain 2, yarn over twice. Skip 2 down here and go into the third. Yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over, drop off 2. Leave all the rest of those on there. Then go yarn over, skip 2 because we're building our base of our X. Skipping 2, go into the third. Yarn over and pull it out. Drop off 2, drop off 2. Drop off 2, drop off 2. Now you've built up your first half of the X. Chain 2 to build your cross, the stitches across the top. Yarn over into that center of the X. Pull the yarn through, drop off 2, drop off 2. I really actually love this stitch. I think it looks so dainty and so pretty. And it's kind of like putting a ribbon through the middle of your skirt or wherever you put it, on the border or whatever. So I really, really love this stitch. I'm going to keep going for a few. Chain 2, yarn over twice, skip 2 stitches, and go into the third. Hook your yarn and pull it through and drop off 2. Leave all the rest of those on. Yarn over, skip 2 single crochet or your stitches down here, go into the third. Yarn over, pull it through, then drop off 2, drop off 2, drop off 2, drop off 2. So you're basically, when you're building this stitch, think of it like this. First you build this part, then you build this part, then you build this part, then this part, then you come back, grab that one, and move on. This is a fantastic stitch, and it looks so challenging, but it's really actually quite fun to do once you get the hang of it. And you can actually literally slide ribbon into these holes, weaving it in and out, and it would look really cute. So I like to do this one when I'm changing stitch patterns, just because I think it looks so elegant. I also like to surround it with a row of double crochet because it kind of widens it and emphasizes its qualities. So chain 2, yarn over twice, skip 2 stitches and go into the third, yarn over, pull it through, and drop off 2. Leave these on, these 3 yarn overs, leave them on your hook, throw a yarn over and skip 2, go into the third, drop off 2, drop off 2, drop off 2, and drop off 2. That's for the long way back up. Chain 2 for the top of your stitch, yarn over, go into the center of your X, pull that yarn through and drop off 2 and drop off 2. You can see how pretty that looks. And this will also give us a really good idea. If I do another row of double crochet after this, it will really give us a good idea of how this ruffle is going to be, how much drape and flow it's going to have. And so if we decide that it doesn't have enough, the second crochet row of double crochets, the second row, will be a really easy way to increase without making anything look out of place. Chain 2, yarn over twice, skip 2 stitches, go into the third, yarn over, pull it through, drop off 2, leave those on, yarn over, skip 2, go into the third stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over and pull it through, drop off 2, drop off 2, drop off 2, and drop off 2. Chain 2, yarn over and back into the center of the X, pull that yarn through, drop off 2, and drop off 2. It's really quite a fun stitch to do. I'm going to speed it up. Okay, we're coming to the end of our row, and we don't have the right amount of double crochets from the previous row to fit these in at the same pattern we're going. So at this point you can choose, instead of skipping 2, you could skip 3, or you could only skip 1. That will increase it and make it give it more ruffle. Decreasing it is skipping 3, and I think we're going to do that. We're going to skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, and you can skip 3 in between. Oh, I didn't even skip 3. Okay, you can skip 3 in between your X's or at the base of your X's. So here I'm starting my base, and I can skip 3 there, or you can do both. Chain 2, yarn over and into the center of that X, chain 2, and then to finish your row you go into the third chain and do a slip stitch, the third chain from this X cross. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, And then you can see that that finishes the row nicely. Now at this point you can change your stitch again. You could do another one. It's going to make it very airy. Or, like I like to, you can do another row of increase or double crochets. And if you need to increase, you can. And it's as simple as putting 2 double crochets in the same stitch on at a regular basis, however you want to do that. This is where you have to use your creativity and think about what it is you want your project to finish looking like. This is one of those opportunities that you can increase if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. And just kind of move around it. Keep working your stitch. You can see that makes it kind of a nice little stretch. So we're just going to double crochet in every stitch. I don't think I need to increase or decrease. You want to really be careful if you choose to decrease, because if you decrease, it will pull it in. And skirts don't look great when they flare out and then pull in and then flare out and pull in and flare out. So you'll want to find some consistency there. And where I'm not very consistent, I mean, I don't follow patterns, so I kind of wing it as I go. I find that increasing a little bit as you go is the better bet if you're not sure. With this stitch, I'm quite familiar with it, and so I know that I don't need to increase because it's a loose, the double crochet rows are quite loose and stretchy, so it's not going to draw it in, it's not going to make it look funny. So I can just stay steady with a double crochet in every stitch, and I don't have to increase, and I don't have to worry about decreasing it, because even if I skip a stitch on accident, which happens, I don't have to worry too much about it because it's, like I said, flexible. And so I'm just going to kind of cruise through this row and let you see what turns up. See how that looks? It's really a nice look. I like it. So I'm going to speed this up. We're going to get through this row and see you at the end of this row. Okay, we're coming to the end of this row. I've just got a couple more double crochets to do, and then we are going to start our next row. So I'm just going to show you how we finish off a row, and you've seen it with the previous row of double crochets. Double crochet, go to the top stitch of your chain of 3 that you started this row with, go in, pull a slip stitch, and there you're done. Now from here you have some choices to make. What kind of stitch do you want to do next? And I've been thinking about it, and I'm really enjoying doing this X stitch, so I think I'm just going to keep going, alternating between the X stitch and the row of double crochets. You can change it up. We got a Toki here to help. You can change it to whatever stitch you would like to do. It does not have to be the X stitch again. This pattern right here looks really great anywhere in a skirt. So, and I think it looks great in almost anything. But I also really like the look of the X stitch with the double crochet. So we're going to do that with the help of Toki. Hey Toki, you can help me out? And I think I'm just going to do that same stitch all the way through this blue pattern. Oop. all the way through this light blue color. I'm going to do that, the X stitch, cross over with double crochet. So get right into that. This is just a really fun stitch to do, and it looks so complex and so so beautiful. Yarn over twice, skip 3. Toki's going to help me. Yarn over, drop off, and drop off. Chain 2, yarn over into the X. See, it's a really fun stitch to do, and it looks so cool. Alrighty. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Toki, don't get it. Oof. Thanks for watching our videos, and we'll see you at the next color, next stitch. Have a fantastic day.